Hello. Welcome. Welcome. All right. And next week Saturday. Welcome. Please share the channel. Share with your friends. It's something that will be good. It's something that will be good. Marriage, business, finance, and culture. We will be the beside. Ordinarily, I will not pick this subject. So last week when we were having the program, OBBC, I said, if you can look at that, I think a gentleman from England, a Ghanaian who lives in England. So share the channel so that we can, So my name is OBENG DARKO. Today is Saturday. And thank you for those who follow these live programs. Thank you very much for the encouragement, for the passion, and when it's Saturdays, right from the morning, somebody will be sending you a message. Are we doing live program? And especially, reminder you see somebody will just send you a message. Are we doing a live program? I think it's good. It's good. It sends the signal that what we are doing is good. So thank you for the support. Thank you for the enthusiasm. Thank you for everything. Thank you. So if you don't have copies of our books, you should just get copies of our books. They will be of help. Unlimited opportunities, for entrepreneurs. Today's one is for entrepreneurs as well. It's for independent and creative minds. If you have not read Perspective, you should. And if you can get copies for your school, for your children's school, for your class, maybe the university you went to, the primary school you went to, the JSS you went to, maybe your church people, you may need copies like that. You can't change a man's life until you change the data that the man has. You can be kept in poverty because knowledge is hidden from you. The number one thing that brings change, self-organic, self-driven change is the knowledge that is made available to people. Resilience is how to develop courage. Many of us, we overanalyze everything and we never take step, we never take risk. And this is streamline, how to teach yourself money. It's not likely that you're going to have money if you don't have good financial data. If you don't have good financial data, you're going to struggle. And today is about marriage. So easy fre one of one grab. Yow, the money in Abraha. So it's good evening from Ghana. Good evening from Ghana. We had I think a hectic day. It's a Saturday, so we had a hectic day, and we're going to share some few things about business, about marriage, about our culture. I hear that a lot of our people, go through a lot of difficulties, challenges with their family setup, with the marriage. They say that divorce, but I think divorces are everywhere. I think we are not doing badly. No matter the frequency that they say we have, no matter the rate that they say we have, I think we're still not doing badly. But if people are equipped, they can do far more better. If people have the knowledge, if people have information, they can make quality choices and decisions. The problems will come, the difficulties will come, but if you're equipped, you'll be able to go through some of these things and not give up, not give up on yourself and not give up on the business or the family, on the union and things like that. I think that Africans, we are going through a lot of transformations, just as when you pick a business, the data that, the so-called modernization, which largely is not being driven by ourselves in terms of the culture, but much of it is, imposition. Um, the same with the marriages that we have, the transition, the culture, what we grew up with, what our grandparents grew up with, what our parents grew up with, and what we have to deal with today, the culture, the way we interpret things. A lot of things are coming to play, but have we really built some kind of models, some kind of principles, some kind of lessons that can help us in this modern times, so-called modern times, so that we can handle a lot of things. So if you want to do business, for instance, the data that they have now, and the data based on our culture, the way people think, there's a lot of things that we have to hold in place so that the business can work. Even raising our children, if let's say you were born in your hometown, you were born in a compound house, you grew up with your father or your mother, and it's not likely that maybe if you grew up from a compound house, it's likely that you grew up in your mother's house. And those of us who grew up with that kind of setting, your father, mother were not really staying at the same house. The father could be somewhere, your mother could be somewhere. Your compound, so you could see your grandparents, your maternal side, most likely. If you grew up with your grandfather, is the same. I mean, you will see him with 2 or 3 wives. Now they say that you have gone to school. They say that you have gone to school. So now you have to stay with one woman. Maybe you are living in Accra, in Kumasi, in Sunyani, in Takoradi, in a small nuclear family. The third is, do you have the tools? Because the examples that you saw and your reality now, do they meet? What has changed? What data have you gained? These things will affect the way we interact at the family level. These things will have great impact on the dynamics of the family. So knowledge is key, especially the knowledge that we are polishing. And then there is some other bit of, when you talk about family and marriage, you can take religion out. There's another part of it. So today, strictly, we will look at if you're an entrepreneur, if you're trying to build business, mainly, because that's what I know. Whether, either both of you are in business or one is in business. If the husband is maybe in business, the wife is working somewhere, or the wife is in business, the husband is working somewhere, or both of you are in business. Those are different dynamics, And let's say if both of you are also employed somewhere, there are different dynamics because the contact hours will change. The rate at which you interact will change if the professions, or if you are employed or you have businesses, the contact hours will change, which means that the communication in the family will take a whole different form. So it matters. It is important you're able to situate the unique situation that you are in. If both of you are building business, how you are going to do it. If one is in business, the other one is somewhere, especially even if both of you are not living together. So it's a whole. This is like 1,001 examples, but there are some basic principles that all of us can pick, and all of us can go and build with it. It's like you being sent to the construction site. You are being taught how to become a mason. They can train you with 1 project, 2 projects, but when you go, the project that you meet will be different. The project that you meet will be different. So they say maybe you can get 1 or 2 principles, and if you have pure heart, if you have the willingness to build, both of you can push 1 or 2 things together and be able to build something. So marriage is a great institution. It impacts. I think it's one of the most important decisions that you ever make. Whoever you choose to marry, whether you choose to marry that person for a month or 2 months or 1 year or 10 years or 20 years, they will decide what you become in life. They will decide what you become in life. Some people think that is the degree. I think the person you choose to marry has great impact on your life. It's serious. And so if you're choosing, then you have to pay attention. If you happen to have chosen President Akufo-Addo, now you will be the first lady, So if you chose another guy, you are somewhere. So it has great impact on your life. it changes almost everything about you. So whoever you're deciding to pick is key, and the factors that you use to pick is also key. For instance, the other day I heard somebody say that if he sees two people and they are married and they are just about the same age, the person's assertion was that it's likely that when they were married, the husband was not rich. And I think it's likely to be true. You know, when they were married, if they are just about the same age, he thinks that the husband was not rich. You know, and he's saying that because it takes time for people to have financial success. And if you don't come from very wealthy home, even if you come from very wealthy home, it doesn't mean that you made the wealth. It means that your parents or your grandparents made the wealth for you. But the wealth that you make as a man, if you happen to choose the same wife, it's likely that the time that you were building that wealth was just about the same time that you happen to choose that woman. So, that was somebody's assertion, and I think it's true. Which means that if you're 30 years now and your wife is just about 30 or 25, 22, 28, 29, you are going to go through phases before you get to a stage where you have control over the finances. And one of the great things that will have impact on your finances or impact on the marriage is the finances, which means that if the man is coming not with so much financial allowance and the woman is coming with not so much financial allowance, it means that you're going to go through phases in order to get to a stage where you have control over the finances. And one of the things that you can do as man and wife, as a wife and a husband, is you agreeing to say or to pattern, this is the part that we are going to use to get to the financial freedom that we all desire. Many people in our culture, the men have been groomed to say that I'm the man. I'm the man. But if you use ourselves as an example, for instance, I'm just about the same age as my wife, just about the same level of education. She has MBA, she has first degree mathematics and second degree business administration. I have engineering education, first degree, second degree, just about the same age. So the man's assertion is so right that it's likely that I had nothing when we started. I was not a very rich person. So maybe now, if I were to marry, I will go and pick maybe 25 years, I'm older than her, maybe another 20 years, I can show something. Then I can tell the woman, sit down, follow me, go here. But if you happen to have the same kind of level of education, the same kind of level of finance, just about the same age, the dynamics will change. You can't just go and just be talking and be controlling, which most men have been groomed to say that if the woman just follow you and listen to you, then she's respectful. If you want that, then you have to know that you must have serious financial power, and maybe age should work for you. You should have had a profession that has been going on for years before the woman came in, which means that by the time the woman comes in, you probably are fully set. You're very defined. And you're very focused on the profession that you're building, whether you're a politician, maybe you're building a church, you're building a business, you're a lecturer, or you're a farmer, you could go farmer, something like that. But if you start together, then the pattern will be different. Now, I say that for women who have that kind of level of exposure, they will not just come in for the money. They would also come in for some kind of respect and some kind of definition in terms of what their life is about, because they are exposed to much. So if you're highly educated as a woman and you have some exposure, and you go to take a very very rich, successful old man, then you are not going to look for inclusion. You are not going to build together, so to say. Then you have to position yourself in a place where the man just gives the command and you follow. If that is the kind of texture or that is the kind of flavor you want, then no problem. But I know that many of these educated women would want to be part of the wealth creation. They would want to be part of the building. So it's not like you are just going to box your way around and tell her, sit down, and she sits down. Come here and say, because she is your wife. No. You have to know. If your father married, and your father, I remember one of our people was highly educated, and my grandmother was not educated. He had exposure. So you could just give a lot of instructions and the woman will follow. And which most men, I see, even those who are educated now, when they marry, they still want to do that. They still want to be given the instruction, and the woman will just have to follow. And I say that if you are coming from such background, then you have to train yourself. You really have to train yourself to say that this kind of woman that I want to marry or I've married is not like the one I saw. And therefore, the approach would have to be different. So it's tough, even though marriage, they say, is great. And I say that it has a great impact on what you become. The same person that you are, if you married another woman, maybe the other girlfriend, you will be different from this one that you have married. The same woman, if she married another person, she will be different. So it whatever you are building today, I think that life is more of you're just building. I don't think that life is just decided and you just happen to follow through and open it. No, life, I think that you're giving tools and you're building. You're giving part. There are a lot of parts. You decide which one that you go. And each part that you take will take you somewhere. But it will not be the same as you taking the other part, which means that the tools, the directions, the maps that you're using, the principles that you're using, they are the main things that you need. It's not because you're just going to be so sure of everything that you will meet on the road. But if you're equipped, then you'll be able to build something which you'll be happy with. So marriage is tough, and building a business is also tough. Just like the business. When you are building a business, it's tough. And it's not like somebody has just done it, Oben, you will build a great business, and this is exactly what the business is going to be. No, it's what Oben has become. His ability, his commitment, his passion, his discipline, his skill. Those are the things that he needs to always hone. He needs to always polish. And once those things are polished and he continues the journey and he doesn't give up, he'll be able to build something. So all of us are building something. You're not so certain of what you're building, but you're building something. And every time, let's say you're going to Kumasi, you're going to Kumasi, but you're not so sure which time, where you're going to fall into, which cars you're going to meet on the road, where you will stop to eat. All those, you may not necessarily, the kind of people you meet on the road, you don't know, but you know Kumasi Road, and you can count on your skill set, on your discipline, on your patience to be able to reach Kumasi. The same with building marriage or building business. The tools that you need, those are the things that you have to really pay attention to. And you have to know that building the two, they are tough. Building the two, they are very tough. So when you're building business and you're building marriage at the same time, it's no joke at all. And so one of the things that you would have to look at the person who has the same kind of disposition, the same kind of aspiration, so to say, similar interests in life. And if you have a lot of things common at the background, you'll be able to go far. So for instance, where you want to stay. If the person wants to stay in Ghana and you want to stay in America, there will be fight. If the person wants to work in the government sector and you want that person to work with you to build a business, that will be very difficult. There is a lot of convincing that you have to make. So the more common background that you're able to have or you're able to develop together, the better for you, because it's very easy for you to build something if you're on the same page. If you're able to agree together on many things, you're two individual, two different people trying to build something together. There's no way that you're going to be the same people. It's never. Those who have been together for 100 years, they're still two separate individuals, and you must know that. There's no way that you are going to get to a stage where you're just that person. No, they will still have different ways of looking at things. They will still have their own things that they get angry with, the things that they're happy with, the things that they don't agree with, the things. And one thing you have to accept to know, or you have to know, is that you're separate people. You have to accept your uniqueness. You have to accept your individuality. And you, the men, especially the African boys, you have to accept that this woman that I've picked is as equal as me. It's a full human being. Don't say that it's a woman, sit somewhere. No. Full human being with different skill set, different aspiration, different tools. After all, you were in the same class with the woman. And you saw it. You were in the same class at the secondary level, at the JSS level, at the primary level, at the university level. She's different and you are different. You're two different people, different make, but you have similar qualities and similar values. You cannot say that because you're a man, I'm better. Sometimes you hear some of these people talk. You say, Obadia, and I've been inside. Obadia, you're a lot of loose talk. Why? Because, but the same guy who is talking is a driver in a company that the woman is leading. But when you give them the microphone, those who go on the street to interview people, when they are talking, so your body is you know, those things. And so a lot of our women have accepted that disposition, especially when they are not so much in education, when they are not so much in financial power. That's why, if you have paid attention, when women start to have money and women start to have a lot of power, they say that they have changed. They have not changed. It's because most men want women to be very subservient, you know, and you can build great things if you want to sit on another human beings. You have to let people express themselves, you know. So you need a lot of patience. You need a lot of patience. You need to work on the same level, on the same page. You need a lot of patience. You have to think long term. You have to think 20, 30 years. And you have to see that person as a family. As just like you will see your sister. Sometimes I see that somebody is talking to the wife or maybe even the girlfriend, and they still think like this is a stranger. No, this is somebody that you're going to build life with. Your mother probably trained you up to 15 years or so, or maybe 20 years. But if you marry around 25, 30 years and you happen to keep the marriage, and let's say you live for 70 years, from 30 to 70, that's a long time. And so most people, the number one person that they will keep with, you know, they'll have, you know, very much intimate relationship with, it's not their parents. It's likely to be the person that you marry. So you cannot say that I marry you, but then you are still from some place and I'm from some place. Once you come together, you are in to build something. So you see that person as full family person. It's not like, hey, how about if it doesn't work? One of my friends, he was building a house and was hiding it from the wife. He even told me that these people, if they see everything that you have, you know, they can kill you and take it. It's because the fundamentals most often are not built well. The fundamentals are not built well. So you need long-term patience, and it's a constant work, and it's in constant change. That relationship is in constant change. I remember they call something flux. It's changing every minute, every second, every time. The same person that you met 2 years ago is not the same person. The relationship is in constant change. And that's why both of you would need a lot of training, a lot of information, a lot of knowledge to keep going. And that is what beats many people. You know, so they pick her. You maybe you married when you were both 30 or 25, 30, whatever. And you think that this woman should stay at the same. You think that this man should stay at the same level. No, people are constantly changing. Life is in constant state of change. And so if you are going to work together, then you must understand that it's in constant change. Two separate individuals coming together to build something, to build a family, run a business, work on your finances, you know, in a culture that is also changing. You are in constant change, you know. But one of the things that will help you is you as a man, you must find yourself. You must find your strength. You must find what your life is about. You must have something to look for or to live for. And the woman must also find something that they live for. What is her strength? What is her courage? What is a vision for life? What is a uniqueness? What are the things that she's good at? Are you aware? You as a man, what are the things that you're good at? Are you aware? Have you developed yourself? Because two developed individuals coming together will do great things. There will be disagreement. There will be all kind of things. But if you're mature and you know what your life is about, because one of the things is that if a man has not found himself, and you take a woman, the only way that a man will live life to its fullness is when he's found himself to say, this is what my life is about. I'm a politician, I'm a preacher, I'm a business person, I'm a product developer, I'm an accountant, whatever, and this is what I'm good at, and this is what I want to be remembered when I'm gone. I want to be remembered of. If a boy has not found that, and he wants to marry, the marriage will be problem. Because nothing gives a man happiness than him finding himself to say, this is what my life is about. If a man is not making contribution to life, nothing else will satisfy him. So you must have something that you live for as a man. Find yourself. It's a journey. Some of us will find it when we are 20. Some of us will find it when we are 30. Some of us will even find it maybe 60. That is too far, but find it early. Know your strength, know your weakness, know what you think your life is about, and build that. Build a career, build something out of that. And so if you happen to say that you want to build a business and the woman is also building a business, then you know that we are going to go through a lot of challenges to build this business. Let the woman find herself and you also find yourself. And I said that it's a journey, it's a tough one. Both of you need a lot of openness. You need to be very open. Some people, they can't even open their phone. Somebody said that it's a controversial. It's not controversial. It's not controversial at all. Every one of us would have a unique way of building our family, but there are some basic things that you need, especially when there's fulfillment, when there is happiness, when there's love, when there is peace. These things, when you see them, you will see. And there is equal treatment. When there is acceptance, you will see. And all humans want to be appreciated, want to be loved, want to be thanked, all human beings want to know their contribution. And in the family, everyone would want to know their contribution. Am I making impact in this family? Or I'm not making any impact here. So if you meet any family that you see these things going on, you will see that at least there are some basic things that they are doing rightly. But when you go there and you see somebody is beating another one and they're hiding things, they're always disagreeing. Somebody is taking one girlfriend, another one is taking one boyfriend. There's always problem. Finances are not out of shape, all kind of things. There's sickness, there's commotion everywhere. Then it means that there are things that are not being paid attention to. And those things can easily be corrected if the two come together to say that, listen, we came together to do something. Because you don't just come together to form to marry so that you can give birth to children. I think that there's a higher reason for that. And there should be something that will impact humanity that should come out of that union. It's not just you training children. No, it's not just you paying bills. It's you coming together to put something out that will have great value on people. And if there's a greater cause for that, you see that a lot of your energy will be spent on greater cause. But when you don't have any greater cause, any greater sense for the union, then you have a lot of energy to keep fighting. So once you see a man always fighting, it means that there's no sense of greater cause for the family, for the man himself, and for the marriage. So you always have to know that there is a greater reason why you came together. And you have to build on each other's strength, cover the weakness, but build with the strength. There's something that you know as a woman that your man will not know. There's something that you know as a man that the woman will not know. Look at that. Some people are looking for everybody to solve some problem for them. And meanwhile, their husband can easily do it. The wife can easily do it. And yet you are still looking for experts because you really don't believe that they know something. Some people are married, but they still don't really have confidence in the other part. And when you have those things, there will be chaos. There will be problem. So please share the channel. Somebody requested it, so requested this one. And these are some of the techniques that we use. You have to know that you can't just box your way around to say that I'm a man. No, that thing is over. And if you want peace, if you want growth, if you want productivity, if you want success, if you want decorum in the family, there are things that you must know. Openness, equal treatment, acceptance, patience, having a greater goal for both of the family is key. And I'm saying that those of us, especially the men, we are coming from background where you saw your father with a lot of women, you saw your grandparents with a lot of women, so the way you talk to women, you may not be conscious, but then you talk them down. You subconsciously think that the woman is not at your level because you think you're a man. And even the religion has also established that, so they say that the man is the head, the woman is something. Some religions, even when they are praying, the woman is somewhere. So automatically, you've been conditioned not to so much handle this woman with respect, which means that if you want to handle her with respect, you have to go extra mile. And because of that condition as well, some of the women are not exposed to this kind of treatment. When this kind of treatment is even offered, they are not able to handle it as it's supposed to be handled. But I don't think that you're going this, and that These are going to be one of the reasons when the woman is exposed, then they will not stay in such what they would call abuse. So you said, oh, the women have become something. They have not become something. It's because they're looking for something that the men are not ready to give, or the men are not equipped or trained to give equal treatment, acceptance, openness. They are looking for that. And when you have picked a woman who is educated, you cannot treat her anyhow. That is, and when a woman, sometimes they may not even be educated, but they're very ambitious. Some people did not go much, but look at a lot of the market women. They work extra, they fight. When she comes home, she is not going to sit down for you to insult her. She works extra. She has financial power. You cannot just say that you're a woman, sit down somewhere. No. So you have to know that if a woman is ambitious and works extra and goes the extra mile, then you have to up your game as a man and to treat her fairly. It does not mean that you are losing your manness or your manhood. No, it just means that now you're being stretched to really treat women as precious. Just like you having a bowl of glass, very precious. You will not just drop it, you cherish it. Or just like you having gold. The woman may not be that much strong physically, but in terms of intellect, and emotionally I think they're tougher than men when it comes to emotions. So sometimes when you see women argue, I get tired. When you see them argue, I get tired because they're tough, they're intense. The love of a woman is very intense, the emotions, very intense. So you must know how to handle some of these things, So acceptance is key. You need to celebrate one another, So, and some of these things, it depends on who. I remember there was a time I was talking to somebody, and I said that he said that, oh, my wife, there's a lot of things at home that she doesn't know, and I don't want her to. When I'm going for business meetings, I don't take her along. And then he said that, okay, but my wife finished JSS, so that is why, even though he was making a law, but he forgot that maybe he did not push the woman further. And he said that, oh, maybe because now yours is a bit different. And so I'm saying that even if you say that she is at the JSS level and you married her, you really have to find a way to push her further. Because as a matter of fact, when you hold somebody's hand and you're running, the speed is not according to the one running faster. It's really according to the one who is slow. So you must as well help the person to be fast. Because you go, ultimately, the resultant effect of the union will be seen. It's not just that because you are powerful man, a lot of things. So sometimes when they're choosing president, you have to know. You have to really look at the other ones that they are coming with, the first lady, because many of the decisions that are coming out will come from her as well. So that is key. The exposure of the person is key. You need to work with trust, and you need to work with full respect, and there should be a lot of forgiveness. Because every day is unique. Any little thing can be disagreement, any little thing can be debate, any little thing can, unless they don't want to talk, any little thing can be happiness, can be jubilation. It's high today, and just a little happening can shift the whole mood for the day. So it means that you have to be very much open-hearted. I met a friend who said that we divorced. I said, why did you divorce? He said, I lost my job, and my wife was always insulting me. So I just told her we will not continue the union. And I felt that even if you come to that point as a man, even if the person is insulting you, you have to find a way around it. Divorce should not be the first option. You should not just say, oh, I'm gone. Whether you are the man or the woman, it's not just that. No, you have to find a way to fight it. And I think that many women will understand men, or will at least try to listen to men if men are bold and confident and reasonable enough to engage the women, even at a point that they are very much angry and they don't trust you and they don't respect you. Many times they look up to you to set the tone and tell them what you have. I'm a quiet person. I don't talk that much, and sometimes that can be trouble. But you have to know that at least whatever comes out of your mouth, if it's gracious, if it's kind, it can change a lot of things. So you don't just say that, the fight should come down. Working with business. I remember when we started business, the first 5-10 years were not good. We went into a lot of projects, a lot of partnerships that didn't work well. We came with a lot of, debt and things like that. I think that without a strong woman, everything would have gone down. And we would have to, by this time we would still be struggling. And some women would have just packed and it would be gone in no time. But my wife stayed. And many times she was the one even pushing to clear some of these mess that we cause. Now, if somebody sticks with you through this and you get to a point that you think you have money, and now you look back and say that, I'm going to take another girlfriend. And so one of the things that you as a man must know is that you have accepted to stay with this woman. Why are you looking for other girlfriends? That one I don't get. The guy is struggling today. Tomorrow things start to work. And the woman says anything later. They say that I'm going. I'm going somewhere. I won't stay because now you have money. Before you didn't have money, you were very sober. You were always in the room. Now some things have started to work. The business is working. So now you are powerful. No, it means that you are very much inconsiderate. And it means that you're very much selfish. If a woman pays the price of pain, during uncertain times, and many wives have paid that because most of us started when we didn't have anything. So if you have been with that woman, even if it's a girlfriend for 5 years, it means that she really expressed hope in you. She had confidence in you. If you think that at this stage your wife is not even understanding and respecting, and you think that she's insulting you, listen, you still have to be forbearing. You still have to be patient with that woman because she believed you. Why didn't you take girlfriend when you didn't have anything? When the business was not working, nothing was working. Why were you at home? Why were you always calling her? And many times these women will be the one going extra mile to bring money so that you have something to eat. And now some things have started to work. You have become a politician, or you have, now you have notoriety, or you have some business working. And now you don't even want to listen to the woman again. Especially, she doesn't even have any clue about the finances in the family. No. When you take that part, it's not because you're a man. It's because you are very much ungrateful. And so you don't need to take girlfriend at that point. And many of our people, when they get money, the first sign that you see they have money or they have power, they start to chase women. They start to chase the girlfriends. And they would want to explain it to us for us to understand. That is not right. That is not right. If there is pain in a woman who sacrificed for you, it's not good for you. It means that you are not a good person. So always look back and remember what they had to put up with to be with you. What they had to go through to be with you. Because many times I know that. I know my mother has put up with a lot of things like that. I know a lot of women who have put up with a lot of these things. And then when the man gets somewhere, he's now chasing girls. No, it's not right. It's not right to be chasing girls. Or now they want to marry another wife. It's inappropriate. And somebody say that is African culture. It's not African culture. If it's African, then you should have married 2 right from the beginning. Then you should marry 3 if it's an African. You don't take 1 and then 2 years or 10 years down the line, now that you're powerful, you want to take another young girl. It's not African culture. It's because you have refused to grow to understand the woman. So now you think that you don't have peace at home. Therefore, you must look somewhere. But don't forget that you'll be 70 years. And you'll be 80. And many times the woman will still put up with that. But educated women will not put up with that. If your grandparents put up with that, educated women will not put up with that. And if they go, don't say that they are proud. They are not proud. They know what they sacrifice. They know their value as well. So love should be expressed in the marriage. You should always be thinking of what can I do for my wife? What extra mile can I go? You should always. What would you do for yourself? Do for one another. That's not mean that you're going to be perfect. No way. You still, every day you bath, so that's a signal that you are not perfect. Once you come bath and go to the bathroom, it means that you're not perfect. So none of us is perfect, but at least you make effort. You make effort to be accommodating, to be kind, and to be open. and to think of this woman or this woman or this man that has stayed with you. Many times I talk to I will say that the attention should be on the men, not so much on the women. But many times the men are the trouble, the women. At least those of us in Ghana. Those of you abroad, I have no idea. I have no idea. But if you travel abroad with your wife, with your husband, don't let those dollar or CD or not, what is it, dollar or euro change you. No, it's better to be together, to build together. It's easier that way. When you are taking load and both of you put your strength together, you can take a lot of load. But it's very tough to take load as one person, especially if children are involved. So there'll be a lot of difficulties. If you raise children alone, it's tough. So don't just break the marriage and say that I'm going. My friend is dealing with that now, and it's not sweet. I think that especially, I hear that abroad is the women who are pulling the calling for the divorce. Hey. And so trust one another is key. Trust one another is key. Trust is key. Be open and be patient, and be selfless as well. And let a lot of friendship be found between you. We work together. We work in the same office. We work in the same car. So the contact hours is a lot. It's a lot, especially when you're building business together. It's a lot, which means that almost every time we go somewhere together. And so if you're not thinking, if you're not planning, if you're not opening, some people go and come at home. They come, they go to work, they come home around maybe 8 o'clock. They're there, and many times, even weekends, they're working. So the contact hours are not that many. So that's different. But if you work together, a lot of the times, that's a whole different thing, which means you must create the friendship. You must create the friendship, And which other one that we can talk of? So my name is OBENG DARKO. Today we are talking about, somebody requested this. I like talking about business and finance and, African dignity, personal development. But I think that if there is no peace at home, there is no peace anywhere. Your greatest investment will be in your relationships. As a matter of fact, your happiness will come from the people, your friends, your family, your children, the people, people who really celebrate you and really understand and that you will really appreciate will be people who have known you all your life. If your teacher meets you today and said, you are doing so well, I'm proud of you. It's so different from somebody who just met you today to tell you that you're doing well. Relationships, they're everything. So you don't sacrifice that. The children, you have to be involved. If your children are at the school going age, you must find a way once a while to drive them to school. If you're very tight, teach them. By the time that they are 15, they are gone. You lose them. When they go to secondary school, they come home, they go. They come home, they go. You can't find them again. Before you see it, they are in the university, and now they have taken boyfriend, girlfriend. They are gone. So when from the time they start to go to school to the time that they complete JSS, don't just lose it like that. Don't just say that my driver should take them. Find a way to teach your children, talk to them, the principles that you have learned, the books that you have read. Teach them. Always teach them. Don't just tell them, don't steal money, don't go and chase girlfriends, don't smoke weed. That's not what I'm talking about. Teach them. Teach them about finance, teach them about personal development, teach them about critical thinking systems, teach them about their history as Africans, teach them about their pride, building a business, creating wealth. Teach them, sit down and pick a pen and paper and talk to them. Even if they are sleeping, even if they are not listening, don't worry. You tell them, today I've told the boy to read book. I've told him about 10 times, he's still not open the book. Ask him, come now, book I'm saying, what kind? He's okay, I will read it. He's not listening, but I still will tell him. I said, I gave the senior fat book about emotion. I said, have you read it? He said, I've not read it. I will come back. I said, have you read it? He said, no. I don't know, kind. No, but still, at least the fact that you even introduce that to them, you have to, if there is a way that you have to, if there is something that you have to put in your children, is their test and their quest for knowledge. They must see that you have books at home. and give them the book. If they read it or they don't read it, give them, and always ask them. Sometimes I even tell them, if when you read it, I will give you maybe 50 cedis. Read something and come and tell me. Summarize it. List it. Even when they don't read it and they open it and they list the points, list 10 points for me. What did you find in the book? Come and tell me. Because I don't recall that when I was his age, I was reading. So he's a child. It's good. He's a child. Maybe I was reading Keteke and those things. But to read for life is a child. So even if you tell them to read and they are not reading, don't be so much angry. If you tell them clean and they are not cleaning, don't be so much angry. Still be patient with them, talk to them, shout, because your words can break them. I'm not saying don't be tough, but many times the words you say to these children, they mean a lot to them. You may not know how much power you have over your children. You know, every word that we say, they mean a lot to them. I remember when I was in secondary school, my father came around. There was an instance, there was an incident. He said that you have made me proud. And that word still rings in my ear. He may not even remember it. So what you say as a father, what you say as a mother to your children, nobody else can say the same thing to them. A teacher can say something, but it will be said as a teacher. A sister will say something same way, but it will be said as a sister. But if you say as a father, it's different. If you say good words as a mother to your child, it will be different. So remember that your words, they mean a lot to them. It builds them. When they write exam and they don't pass, it's not the exam. I saw something in secondary school. Some people were very much intelligent, but when it came to the exam, they did not even pass well. But those who were coming from families where their mother and their father were together, they were not so intelligent, but they passed the exam. And they seemed to choose the right course. They even went to the university and did well. And some of them were very brilliant, but they were coming from single home or no home at all. And they struggle to further themselves. So being together is also a great tool for the children. When they see you together, it builds them. Nothing builds them more than that. So don't just pack and say, I'm going. Think of what you're putting in your children. Your words, they mean a lot. My mother told me, I don't think that you can do a lot of physical work, so don't play with your books. My mother told me that. I still remember them. Long time ago, I still remember them. So your words mean a lot to your children. Don't just be talking anyhow and be shouting and be insulting them all the time. There are a lot of people who had AIDS. Now we can't find them. You know, it's the confidence, the courage that they build, the skill set that they can go and look for knowledge, the ability to put whatever they learn into practice. That is what is going to separate them, especially if they are going to build business. It's not the A that they had from school. My classmates I was top of my class. Classmates that we were, those who were competing, or those who were not anything. Really, if anybody will become something, it's not because they had A in the SS level or the university. No, it's because after school, those who were looking for knowledge for life and fought for something, and they were ambitious, they wanted to become something, they have become something. So the tools that you really need, the training that your children need for life is different from the training they need to pass exam. They should pass the exam if they want to become lawyer, doctor, engineer, those things. But to build business, passing the exam is good, but it will not make any difference. It will not make any difference. So don't break your children because they didn't pass. Now you want to hit them with cutlass. You want to fight them. You want to say that your future, because you're not passing the exam. And there's something about teachers. When you go there, they tell you, this one will be a great, because they're a great one, something that you'll be that. Why? Because it's passing in the classroom. That's not true. That's not true. Look at our politicians. Which grade did they have? Tell me why. Which grade did they have? The current one and the previous ones. Tell me. It's the confidence, so that they can take risk, so that they know that they are worth something. They have self-value. They will not judge. Because many times when children follow anything, or when they are on drugs or they are following men, many times it's because they have no self-confidence and self-value. So they are looking for acceptance from their friends. And that's what somebody can tell them. and they follow. So when you build that confidence in them, even if they sway a bit, they will come back because of the seed that you have put in them. So talk to your children with that. And when the pressure comes from the business, don't pour it on the family. When there is, maybe your business is in trouble now, maybe you owe people, there's a lot of uncertainties around, the pressure in you will go up. Don't bring that to the family. Don't bring that to the children. You have to separate that. You have to have good words. They have to hear good words from you. They have to see hope in your eyes. As a man, they have to see that. You have to be the hope that they are looking for. So my name is OBENG DARKO. Today, we're talking about something delicate. Somebody said it's controversial. They say that there are a lot of people who are divorcing our country. And I dare say that because we have to learn. We're living in a time that many things are different. The man is different, the woman is different. You need to have different information to build this. The dynamics are different. You need to have different information to build this family. You cannot look at the woman that you have married. Look at the man that you have married. Assess them. And look at what you can build with where you are. But you build things just like a plant. You pour water on them. They need nutrients. You can't build things. If you are building a tree, you cannot go and cut them, or remove them and put poison on them and expect them to grow to become a good tree. It's not possible. The same, you're building that family. You're building your children. You're building that husband. You're building that woman, your wife. You cannot use poison to grow anything significant. So poison, the words that you say, the culture that you have created in the family, their atmosphere. Are people free? Can people smile and joke and laugh around? Are they themselves? Or when they meet you, they have to, are they themselves? You did feel that you just married. Sometimes I see somebody takes a girlfriend. A girl is moving somewhere. You approach her, and now she has accepted to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend. And now you raise your hand and beat her. It always amazes me that somebody's daughter moving somewhere who happens to agree with you to be in a relationship. Even if you go somewhere and she's with another person, or even sleeping together, how can you have the right to beat that person? It is something that fascinates me. Somebody will lift the hand and beat the wife. Why? Are you God? You just happen to marry that woman. If there's something and you don't want to, why beat her? You don't have that right. But surprisingly, they happen. And it amazes me that you can lift your hand and beat a whole grown up because you have married her or because she's your girlfriend. It means that there's something wrong with your outlook of life. You can't lift your hand, a belt, and slap another human being who is mature like you. It's uncalled for, it's unfortunate. It means that your upbringing is wrong. Because you can't beat something that you so respect. Do you really believe that you can beat somebody who you so adore? You see somebody you so respect in the society. If the president comes to your house today, do you think that you can pick bet and slap or beat the president? Something that you so cherish and respect. Do you really believe that you can do that? So if you can lift your hand and slap that woman, it means that you have no respect for her. No, you have no respect. You don't think that she's worth anything. You think you have the right to beat another man's wife, another man's child. If you come to marry my daughter, you can take her. But the day that you raise your hand to beat her, I will come with police. They will take you. If you're in any house and the man is beating any woman, the only reason the man continues to beat that woman is because he thinks that woman does not have anybody to fight for her. If you're a man and you're somewhere and somebody is beating a woman, you have to step aside, step forward and say that I'm a man. You can't do that here. Take that man to the police station, or if you can't beat him, chain him. Let him get sense. It is inappropriate. The other day, a woman crossed me and he hit my back as a car. And that woman was insulting me. I looked at her, I said, but you're a woman. Why are you doing that? Why are you insulting? I don't expect that from you. But she was insulting me. Just because she hit me. She hit me and she turned around and rather was insulting me. So some women are also the mouth is too much. But even that, never stretch your hand to hit another grown up. Is inappropriate. Even your children, when they get to a certain stage, you have to talk to them with respect. Because they are growing. They are now independent. They are not you. They are not you. Human beings will grow well when you feed them with the right nutrients. So acceptance, openness, equal treatment, they are key. Don't just say that in our culture. No. In which culture? No culture. There's no culture in Ghana that is saying that beat women. There's no culture. That's why the police can come for you. So, and understand that the makeup of a woman is different from the makeup of a man. And that's what you have to study. Go and search how women are different from men. There's something that you can also continually read and search about marriage, about family, about women, about men. If you're a woman, to read about men. Read. Get data. Because whatever character that you are expressing, whatever decisions that you're making, whatever actions that you're making or you're taking, they're coming from the knowledge that you have. And so if the knowledge is corrupt, your actions will be corrupt. And I said that this thing is in constant change, just like business. If you're doing business and you're learning every day, you see that the business will go on well. You start to make right decisions with the finances, with the team, with the product. There are so many things that you're doing differently. That's why the business is speaking. Before, the business was suffering. There are many of you who have sent us messages to say that now my business is doing well because I started to, listen to what you're saying, and I started to look at my finances. Somebody even said that I was going to buy land, and I heard that if the business is not that strong, don't buy land, and I stopped. That's what the guy said. He stopped buying the land. Yes, a story. Let me tell you. There's this young man who called me, said that I listened to you. I started fried rice. He says fried rice, and now he has about 5 joints or 4 joints. And out of that, money came. He said he completed SSS. He couldn't continue. Money came, and once the money came, he bought a land. And then he was listening to one of our messages. He said that if the business is not strong, don't buy any land or push it back in the business. So he said, okay. So he went to sell the land and took the money to buy aboboya. So now he has 4. Those aboboya are also working. And now the other day he was saying that I've talked to my father to go and get a farmland so that we can start farming. You see, the information that came to him, he started to make different decisions on his business. The same with the family. If good information comes to you, you will make different decisions with the family and things will work. The family, the marriage that you think is so troublesome and you want to give up is because of the data. It's the information. If you change the information, you start to see different things you start to look at things differently and things will start to work. So many times it's the data, it's the information that you're processing. You think that you're a man, you have no respect, you don't listen. The money comes, she cannot buy another phone. So why are you still handling the money? You have no control over money. When the money comes, you go and give it to everybody. Then you're back to square one. It means that your discipline with money is not that strong. But the woman can handle 100, 200, and it become 1,000. And you still want to be in charge of the finances. So that is why you're struggling. Maybe she's far better than you with the finances. Why are you the one handling it? Is it because you're a man? But if you're a man, you will see it. The thing is not working and you have collapsed it. Because your interaction with maybe your upbringing with money was not that solid. So now you're learning. But maybe she is that tough with money and she can multiply that faster. Why are you being the one in charge when everything shows that you are crashing the whole thing? When everything. So look at what you are not strong in. Don't say that you are the man, because obviously you're failing. You're failing. But they told you that you're man, so you can't accept that you're failing. But many of us, we fail. Many of us, we just, we are capable in here, but things are done in fact. You know, and the woman is patient with you, but it's not working. It's not working. So family is key, marriage is key. Understand the culture, the finances. If there's no money in the family, there's trouble. And so you come together, you set milestones, you set targets. In the first year, I saw somebody said that when we came together, we built our house in the first year. Create income, different sources of income, not house. Come together, create different sources of income. So many things. So this one is bringing 1,000, this one is bringing 10,000, another one is bringing 20,000. It's not just the salary. If the income coming is just from your wife's salary and your salary, you struggle. What is it that you can build that will bring another income? Don't go and build a house in first year when you are coming from a family that nobody has money. You know, don't say that we have, praise the Lord, God has been good to us. We have built a house. That house is nothing. What you need, because you're going to give birth, hopefully, and your children are going to go to school, you're going to spend money all the time. So what you need is build income, build different things that will bring it. That is what will bring financial peace at home. And when there is no control with the finances, there's no control anywhere. That's what most people don't realize. Because there is always fire somewhere. Because the money is not enough. There will be problems in the marriage, but money should not be part of that problem. Money. And if you put your mind to it and you're very disciplined, you can set targets and you will do it. You know, the reason many of our people are running to all these countries to become nurses and teachers is because of money. They leave their children here, they leave their wife here, they leave their husband here and move to England to become something. It's because of money. But if your financial data is not changed and only your income has changed, you will still work for money all your life. You will still work for money all your life. You know, and you don't want to work for money all your life. You don't want to work for your money. So come together. Come together from tomorrow. If you have not come together, sit down and say, let's plan the finances. What is it? Where can we put money that will bring money again? Maybe you can build an apartment, but you can start some farm. You can open a provision shop. You can sell water. Don't say that I'm a doctor, my wife is an engineer, so we can't do anything. The money is not enough. The doctor is just a profession. People respect you, but it will not bring money. Don't, you know it, I know it. You're an engineer, no problem. You work somewhere. You know that the money is not enough. That's why there's always fire in the house. So come together, sit down and plan. And every week sit down together and see where you have allowance. Because what you pay attention to will grow. You know, so when you say, okay, this is it, don't hide yours. And some people say that I am the man. You are the man, but what you are bringing is not enough. You know, so if you can go and fight and bring more, no problem. But be open, work together, and build the finances. You know, God did not create this life for us to suffer like that. And anytime I see Africans, I see that these are people who are going through a lot of pressure. We worry too much. We go through a lot of stress. We work through a lot of pain. We struggle. Many of us, many Africans struggle too much. We struggle too much in life. And that's why we are crying to God everywhere to come and save us. Many times it's not God who should come and save us. It's the data we are operating with. The data is not right. And that's why you see a lot of our people going through struggles and pains. Yeah, that's why. It's the data. You can once you get data and you put them into practice, you can relax. You have taken 3 girlfriends. If you can cancel all of them tomorrow, all the money that is coming, you can save it. You can be out to be one of my friends is always drinking. Why do you get the money to drink all the time? You know, so how is he going to save money to invest? He's always drinking. He's always buying very expensive drinks. You know, spending money. You blow money everywhere. Why? You're not paying attention. You're reckless with money. You know, and when the woman talks, you say it's not your money. It is her money because she's spending her time and life with you. She's spending her life with you. So whether you are angry or you're not angry, that does not mean anything. It's her life with you. Anything happens to you, happens to her. If you are sick today, she can't go to work. So the life is together. So you might as well take charge and build them together. So whoever gave me this work, I hope I'm doing good work with you. So family is everything. Family is at the foundation of building any country, any nation. If the family is weak, the country is weak. If the family is strong, we produce strong sons and strong daughters who can stand in and fight. But you can't build strong family with weak knowledge. No, you can't build that with weak knowledge. You know, from where the children go to school, what they study in school, how they stage, where they pay attention to. You see, many of our people are just writing CVs and looking for jobs. Meanwhile, there's no job. So why are you not teaching them to start something for themselves? The young boy has finished tech, Kwame Nkrumah University. For the last 3 years, he's writing CVs everywhere. Nobody's picking him. And you have 5,000 there. Call him and say that I want you to start this. I will coach you. Even if he loses it, he will learn something. And when he's doing that, encourage him. Encourage him. Train your children to become owners. Train your children to build businesses, not to look for jobs. Be the ones that will employ people, build wealth. There is no place, nowhere is full if you want to create a job. I've never heard that there is no place that you can create job. Create job somewhere. Let him start something. Rare goat, rare chicken, rabbit. Whatever he can do that people will buy, let him do it. That boy who said he started this fried rice, it's just basic fried rice. He's bought Boboya 4 out of it. He's going to buy land to start farming. Only God knows where he will be in the next 10 years. The next 10 years, you'll see that he's a big industrialist. He's a big businessman. It doesn't so much matter how he starts. He can be still selling MTN mobile money with his degree. Does it really matter? It doesn't matter. He can be selling spare parts somewhere. It doesn't matter. He could go and buy cutlasses and sell to farmers. If people will exchange their money, don't say that, he went to school to do something. It doesn't mean anything. Somebody sat down and put those courses together. You, the one, you believe that this is a course. But some people came, if in the universities, they create courses all the time. What people forget is that is another business people do. They sit down and create this course and give it a name. And you come and pay school fees and do it. They are not having you in mind that when you finish, you will get a job. That's not true. They just want to, it's a business they are running. They also have to live. So if they give you that title, don't let that title choke you. My son went to read chemical engineering. So he's completed chemical engineering. He's looking for Tallow is not picking him. He's looking for Nestle is not picking him. And he's at home. Doing what? Because he has my friend, pick pen and paper and go and teach somewhere. Start something. And that is what you have to tell your child. It is wrong for you to bring up a family and all your children are at home looking for a job and saying that they can't start anything. They can start something. And they have to understand the economy that we live in. So my name is OBENG DARKO. Today we are talking about marriage. We're talking about finances. We are talking about culture. And we are talking about another one. Which one is that? Business. Yeah. Business. And so we want to wrap up and then you can join us. We want to wrap up and you can join us. So if I want to go over, we said that marriage is critical. If you want to marry, and if you are not married, you're a young man and you're looking for somebody to pick, look for some of these things. Look at your level. What is your level of education? Look at your finances. Look at your background. What kind of woman you think you can build with? If you were to employ somebody for that position, what are the characteristics that you look for? Because people come with skill set, with maturity level. It's not just because you're going to give birth. No, you want to build together. It's one thing just marrying. Some people will say, we have married for 30 years, but what has been the productivity of that marriage? We have married for 50 years, no problem. Apart from the children, what did you achieve? We want to see that together. Did they achieve anything? What did you build? Is also part of it. Multiplication is not just the children. Multiplication is in productivity and value that you create in the family. So it's key, and depending on your level. So you always have to look at your level and see who you think you can reason with, can build with. You always have to look for that, and you have to be open-minded. And if you're a man, you have to know that it's equal. Don't be saying that your woman sits somewhere. It's not right. And look at what again? The Be together, be open-minded, and always create a good atmosphere. Fun. The fight they will come because they are two individuals, but don't stretch your hand on a woman. That is totally unacceptable. Totally. And there should be love, there should be commitment, and there should be acceptance. And if there is something that you have to constantly know, that if there is a problem, you always have to talk anyway, anyhow about it. And so long as you can talk about it, then there is hope. There's hope if you can always be discussing something. It really does not matter the formula, but if you can be discussing something, there is always hope. And you know that it's a family. Just like your sister or your mother. If you pick somebody and you marry them, your family. So you treat them with that. Don't be hiding things. Say that with your social media. Today we were having some discussion on our school platform. They were talking about why some people's matrilineal families take care of their their orphanage there. And this our friend was making a lot of debate. I said that you still have to take care of your family, take care of your children, take care of your sister's children. Do that. Don't just look at your family alone. If your sister's son needs help, don't just say that it's not my son. Where is the father? If you can help, do that. It's still part of it. You can even help strangers. How much more people who are related to you? And that is life, actually. That is life. If there are young children, young people at home, in your home, don't say that, oh, when I'm successful, I'll take care of them. By the time you're successful, they are 40 years. They can't go to school again. What can you do for them at this stage? Can you give them some kind of education? Can you give them some kind of education? It's key. So it can be tough, just like business, but it stages. After 10 years, if you can stay for 10 years, you're almost through. Go for the second year, but always grow together. Read, search, read, and have a lot of fun. And this one, I don't know if I can say it too, but the women, you should understand that these men are always thinking of sex and things like that. So you have to help them all the time. The way the brain of the mind is wired, it thinks of things like that all the time. That's why the politicians, those with power and money, they are always caught. Like what guess? Because sex is key to men, and acceptance and communication, nourishment, respect, love means a lot, they mean a lot to women as well. So you have to know what is very much important to women. And so if you don't know that, like me, I went to boys' school, I stay at boys' hall, so we are learning. We are learning. It's tough, but we are learning, so you're going to learn how to talk to women, how to treat women, how to accept them. They say that Romans chapter 4, romance, you have to learn all those because they mean different thing to women. Things mean different things to women, and different things mean different things to men. So I want to say thank you very much for taking your time to watch this. I hope it's something, we said something that is good because these things are very, delicate. Very delicate. Our emotions are delicate, and I don't think we qualify to be talking about marriage. But at least we practice some, and the things that we learn, those are the things that we talk about. So we always talking, we sharing. We don't hide a lot of things. It's there, and I don't know why people want to hide things because when you die, are you going with it? No, you're not going with it. We leave it for those who are here. So just be open and have fun. If that lady agreed to go with you when you had nothing, it means that she loved you, and she's still with you. She loves you. There could be disagreement, there could be change of need, but that is the fact. You mean a lot to her, and she should mean a lot to you too, and you should cover each other, and and be open. So thank you very much. Don't do a lot of things. With some of this information, you can easily run a home and be happy there. And don't just say that if it doesn't work, I pack my things, I go to another one. You use the same person. You are the same person who you are going there. It's likely that you're not going to do better there. You're not going to do better there. So accept the responsibility and the difficulties. Just as you're building business, it's difficult, but you're there. You're fighting on. The same with marriage. You grab it and say that I'm a man. And you as a man, you have to be tough and you have to be courageous. You have to be the one who provides. You have to be the one who said that I'll protect the family, I'll protect my wife, I will protect the children. You have to be the one. That is what you were made for. You are actually the foundation upon which everything rests. If you don't stand as a man, the family will break. So you have to stand. And standing means that you're making noise. It means that you take responsibility and you provide the needed atmosphere, and the courage, and the confidence, and the encouragement for everyone to do well in the family. You have to be that one. You are a man. If your father didn't teach you, and many of us who didn't have any example growing up, whether you didn't have a father who was good example to you, or your grandfather, or you didn't have it, you can build with what you learn today. Be a good example. Let what is important. Always make time for what is important. And your family, your wife, your children, they are important. And so if there is any crucial meeting, you have to know that these are my priorities.